Take it or break it. The following video is part of an investigative series for newcomers to the paranormal field as to the merits or not of specific paranormal research equipment available on the commercial market. Over the years of posting videos, we have answered many questions through email or comments as to our choices of equipment. Manufacturers of said equipment will have their own, possibly opposing, opinions. Stan Jan Paranormal does not now, nor have we ever, manufactured paranormal equipment for the consumer market. Our reviews of equipment are opinions based upon our use of said equipment in the field and should not be misconstrued as scientific evidence. If available, our suggestion is to purchase American-built product over import to support American labor. This particular piece of equipment just happens to be our choice to one of those exceptions. This Bauer Spotlight is of course imported from China and sells pretty much exclusively at Harbor Freight or an outlet of Harbor Freight. Its one major drawback, it's really heavy. And there are competitors on the market that have competing luminosity that are much lighter. However, there's one major issue with those competitors in that they have a self-contained non-removable battery. Meaning that once it runs out, it's out. There's no way to charge it in the field because you have to have an electrical outlet and let it set in there for a few hours to charge up. You'll see this on shows like Expedition Bigfoot, where after they're using the batteries for most of the night, the batteries run out and the only battery that anyone has left is the cameraman because his is much larger and it has swappable batteries. If you are not doing outdoor investigating, then you really don't need this at all. So both types of flashlight, removable battery or rechargeable, basically apply to someone who's walking through forest or swamp long distances to get to a structure, or actually doing cryptid hunting. But none of this means anything at all unless it stacks up to the competitor, which has a rechargeable battery. So we're going to find that out right now, and we're going to take it to a place where we can really shine out and see how far it actually does penetrate in the darkness. The Grand Canyon. This is the backside of the El Tovar, and across that over there is the, what do they call that? That's the...
Bright Angel?
No, it's not. Well, that's the Bright Angel over there, but there's a gallery right there on the end of it. And we're going to see tonight if that Bauer light will reach over there or not, if it's actually going to illuminate it. As we move along here, we can see the outcropping. We'll see how much of that, because that's got to be a quarter mile away probably. And we're going to see how far that thing will illuminate in the darkness. Right over here is the Bright Angel, and we're going to go around and see what that building is over there where they have the paintings in. I know there's a name to it, I can't remember it. So we'll take a walk down there and check that out. Well, I wonder what the name of that structure was over there. It's called the Kolb Studio. We're going to walk over there and take a quick photo of it, and tonight we're going to see if we can hit it with a spotlight or not. This is the Lookout Studio. This is the structure that I was looking at from the other side of the canyon over there, trying to figure out exactly what it was. Thought it was the Kolb Studio, but that's up just a little bit farther from here. In making this assumption, I misspoke. Google Earth shows the El Tovar is situated here, the Lookout Studio that I'm trying to illuminate is situated here, and the Kolb Studio, which I mistakenly thought was what I was looking for, is actually around the rock face on the other side and can't be seen from the El Tovar. The viewing area where I'm going to try to illuminate the Lookout Studio is behind the El Tovar. Google Earth shows the distance from that viewing area to the Lookout Studio is actually 0.17 miles, not 0.25 miles, so I was off 0.08 miles. Still a very long ways for a flashlight to illuminate. And across from us, all the way on the other side over there is the El Tovar. And that's where I'm going to stand tonight. I'm going to shine that Bauer light and see if it will illuminate this structure where I am standing from the El Tovar. Now this is where we were this afternoon when I took pictures of the Lookout Studio across the canyon. Now I'm going to illuminate the studio over there with this Bauer. Show you how powerful this light actually is. It's actually quite amazing. What's this? Look at that. You can see the entire studio over there. Side canyons of the Grand Canyon. Isn't that amazing? You can shine it on, look at that, all the way across the canyon, all the way to the Grand Canyon. On the tributary of the Grand Canyon, it lights up the other side enough to be able to see what's over there. With the Bauer, we were able to faintly see the front of the building intermixed with the stationary lights. However, the resolution of the camera would not do it justice. Next, we'll take it underground. The Lava River Tube is outside of Flagstaff, Arizona. It is roughly 3/4 of a mile long underground, or precisely 3,820 feet. Hikers are warned that it can be dangerous and that they hike at their own risk. There are no lights inside of the cavern. That's where the Bauer came in, and we could see exactly how far this thing would cast a light underground. This is the entrance to the Lava River Tube. At normal speed, it takes 45 minutes to an hour to go each distance. We'll go right down this little pathway here, and there's still people down there coming up. Lava River Tube with a little light. Most of it's infrared. Well, I'll tell you what, it is dark in here. Ceiling's right above it. I already cracked my head once, so be careful when you come in here. First 100 yards, pretty rough. So that's the side tunnel that goes off. That's the one you have to crawl through. And then to the left over here is the main tunnel. This is the one that you can walk through, and the choice is yours. But I tell you what, these rocks are really slick with ice. I would not be crawling anywhere. You could easily fall and break a rib. I know. I did. No more cave hiking for me. Yeah, what are you going to do now?
Take a photo with my iPhone.
Take a photo with your iPhone? If it'd go that far.
Well,
Sure glad we got that. Spotlight makes all the difference. And here we are at the end of the tunnel. We made it all the way. Can't go any further than that. That is it. That's as far as you're going. I don't see Josh Gates back here anywhere. The people are here with us going down the trail. Fascinating. What a fascinating little hike. Fascinating and dangerous. Without adequate lighting, maybe deadly. This is the portable surveillance unit that we've got set up in my garage. See the screen back there. Of course, I still got my truck and other stuff in here. And I'm actually not going to be out here while it's plugging away. We're going to let it run. I'm going to check on it periodically to see about whether it's run halfway down or whether it's run all the way down. And when it runs out completely, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to change the batteries. And really the reason that I'm not going to be out here is because right here in the garage, I think, well, let's take a look here. Right now it is right about, it's looking just under 100 degrees right here in my garage. Here we are in Las Vegas, of course it's summertime, and I don't feel like standing out here and watching it. This is the last test. This is for the 5 amp hour battery. We'll see how it compares with the other batteries that we put in and see if it will last, more than 3 times longer than the 1.5 amp. We'll find out. After consideration, I decided only to show the results for the 5 amp hour battery. I figured that anyone that's going to carry one of these is going to use the larger battery because they're going to be in an outdoor setting where it was required. But at the conclusion of this video, I will weigh the batteries and show how much they weigh in comparison to each other, and the total weight of the larger battery being carried with the unit itself. If you notice, the brightness of the beam will increase and decrease slightly as it goes along. My guess is that it's shifting between independent power cells within the battery unit itself. When we first started filming, it was just a few minutes before 6 p.m. It is now 2 minutes before midnight. That is 6 straight hours of runtime. The spotlight now flashes 3 times to let the operator know that it is running out of power. And just about 10 minutes later, another 3 flashes let you know that you are going into darkness. Your time is now up. If you didn't heed that 10-minute warning and you're out in the boondocks, you're now in the dark. A logical assumption would be that all 3 battery types provide this 3-burst light to let you know when it's running out of power. We don't know for certain. We intended to test the other 2 batteries, but did not do so upon seeing how long this one took to run out. One other thing to mention is that all 3 battery types have a high and a low setting. By double-clicking the trigger, it will drop from one setting to another. We only tested the 5 amp in the high setting. Conceivably, in the lower setting, it would last longer. What about the weight of the units themselves? Well, for carrying it around, that could be a deal breaker for most folks. The smallest of the batteries available for retail purchase, the 1.5 amp hour battery, came in at 13 ounces. The medium-sized battery, the 3 amp hour battery, came in at 1.63 pounds. That's quite a bit of weight there. And the 5 amp hour battery came in just slightly higher at 1.76 pounds. Well, between the two, if you're going to carry one, you might as well carry the heavier one. There's not that much difference and you get a lot more power. The total weight of the unit with the 5 amp hour battery, over 3 pounds. I attached a lanyard through the top loop of our unit so that we could hang it over a doorknob or perhaps from the top of a tent on the outside of a structure wherever we needed to do so. A longer lanyard would allow it to loop around your neck or carry it over your shoulders. The strength of the unit is in no danger of collapsing. So is this a take it or break it item? Well, to reiterate, I would say that depends on the kind of hunters that you are. If you belong to a paranormal group that focuses on doing residential investigations, walking in with anything like this is going to make you look like some kind of an idiot. But just like everyone else, I watch YouTube videos, and I see different groups going in to investigate old mines, caves, to find out if there's a ghost inside, and I'm saying to myself, please don't do this. Our first responders have enough on their plates. That lava river tube that we went in is not in a secluded area. It's basically an Arizona park with restrooms at the entrance. We just weren't aware of how long it takes to navigate it going in and coming back out. And we hiked all the way to the back of the cave. It's a challenge, you see. For me, I was dang glad that I had this unit and able to climb back out. So you have to judge your own merits on this device. For me, it's always in the vehicle now. I won't go anywhere without it. And even though our opening remarks suggest that you should try to buy American if possible in order to support our own economy, I believe this is one of those exceptions. You may never find yourself at night in a deserted ghost town like Jen and I have several times. So you may never have a use for it, but if you do, you'll be darn glad you had it.